To everyone, welcome to LTX classes. In this series, you know that we are dealing very important the Hindu analysis, right? The articles which holds greater significance for UPSC are covered in these articles. Clear? Yes. See, date 26/8/2022, and the articles are going to be dealt by Srinivas. Clear? Let's focus on our articles. Let's see the yesterday's current affairs based MCQ. We shall solve this answer and we can go for our articles. Consider the following statements. The word judicial review clearly defined in the constitution? Absolutely no. The word judicial review was not defined in the constitution, and nowhere the word mentioned in the constitution. Clear? Then you might think about, sir, then what about article 32? Isn't it a judicial review? No, it is not judicial review. First of all, what is judicial review? Judicial review means, you might know there might be few cases where judiciary will come with certain decision. Clear? So see, in yesterday also we have gone to the example of S. Subramanian Balaji versus Government of Tamil Nadu. In this case, generally you might know that Supreme Court nullified the things, like on what grounds? The things that section 123 of corruption, that is in Representation of People's Act 1951, is nowhere related to this case, right? So on basis of these things, yesterday we have completely discussed on that issue, right? Yes. So in this, the judgment was given by the two judges bench, right? It is a two judge bench, and the same was here right now. Supreme Court is telling we are going to review it by 3 judge bench. So the same verdict might be go back when 3 judges come with a different opinion. Clear? So this is the judicial review. Clear? Verdict of one case might go to the other benches. This is called judicial review. So that is not defined in the constitution, but this is the implicit power of the court. Clear? The implicit power of the courts, right? And next, see, the implicit power would be generally these, right? Then what is that? Only Supreme Court holds? No. In India, both Supreme Court and High Court have the powers to go for judicial review. Clear? So the answer is ultimately D, none. Both the statements here are wrong. Clear? Now check the articles to be explored. Clear? So these are the articles we are going to look. Those are freebies, a judicial lead, and a multi-layered issue. It is telling that judicial lead and it is a multi-layered issue, the freebies, and malware found in 5 phones. No proof it's Pegasus. Clear? We can see this article. And next, IOC to spend 2 lakh crores for net zero emissions. And next, India Bangladesh discuss river water sharing issues. Clear? And next, labor courts empower workers. Who is saying that? This is given by the Prime Minister of India. Clear? So these are the important articles that have come in the Hindu today, and we can go of checking all these articles in a very detailed manner. First of all, first article being the editorial article only. We shall deal this topic in detailed manner. Now check this editorial article. This article is very important from GS to polity perspective. Clear? GS to polity. This is very important article. See, freebies, a judicial lead and a multi-layered issue. We shall decipher this. We shall go for meaning of, first of all, what is the meaning of freebie? Then see, what is a freebie? A freebie is such a thing which is given at free of cost without taking money from you. Clear? So see, the best examples could be, if you think, see, recently AAP government from Delhi is everywhere promising that up to 100 units we are going to provide free electricity. Okay, so free electricity. And for example, if I promise, the promise is that if I come to a party in position, if I get win, I will paying you or I will giving you the laptops, clear, laptops, clear, are you getting? So these are very important things. These are the freebies which might affect the economy, clear. So are you getting? So these are the examples of a freebie. Then what is this judicial lead? And see, recently Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi ji called for rationalization of freebies in the states. Means he is asking the state governments to reduce the freebies that are giving to the people. Why? Because Modi ji is telling that these unnecessary freebies are hurting the economy like anything. You are simply wasting the money. Why? Because if you are providing free electricity, what is the advantage that they would get in long term? They might be using more electricity, right? They might even waste the electricity bills also. These could be the possible consequences. Clear? So you should rationalize of giving those freebies. Means you should try to reduce the freebies that you are going to give people. And he is asking everywhere in the world and everywhere in the India that this discussion should be done at a larger level, that is a freebie. So on the basis of this, there are many politicians and petitioners who approached Supreme Court of India to deal the issues of freebies. Because see, people might be thinking that these people would definitely help their lives, so that's why they are providing their votes. But the parties which are coming into the government are not favoring the people by fulfilling their promises. Clear? Are you getting? So on the basis of freebies, few people are getting the votes, and after winning, of course, few governments are satisfying these, but they are huge cost involvement for the economy. So on that basis, generally government is not encouraging to give freebies to the people. Clear? Are you getting? So this is all that is happening in India. So judiciary appointed a committee. So that's why the title says a judicial lead. Clear? And judiciary asked, Supreme Court asked that committee to look into the issues of freebies in a detailed way, and the article says it is a multi-layered issue. Then what is a multi-layer? See this blue color, and around the blue color I am wrapping with the different covers. Clear? If I am wrapping that with different covers, it shows it is a multi-layered one, right? Then see, if I write the inside blue color as freebies, and the author meaning of multi-layered means, so you are not giving freebies to one section, you might be giving freebies to different sections in India. So when you are considering freebie, it should be considered comprehensively, where the issues are covered in a multi-layered level. Clear? So if you want to go for the blue freebie one, you have to take all the things, you have to tear all the things of yellow, green, black, red, right? So this is the concept of multi-layered issue. Are you getting? So then it is the article we have to see from core. Clear? So I'm going to share the views that the author expressed here. Fine? Yes. So I already explained that recently Narendra Modi government is asking the states to reduce their things. Why? Because according to Modi, the freebie culture might hit the economy, and the freebie culture would reduce the outcome of economy. Why? Because people won't work hard, people will sit at house and people will crave for the money given by the government for free. So in the long term, outcome of the economy would definitely reduces. Outcome of the economy would definitely reduces. So that is why he is asking for. But here the author is also telling, clearly get the difference between the freebie and the welfare scheme first. Why? Because when you take welfare scheme, when Narendra Modi come of asking states to reduce their freebies, few states from South India like Telangana asking the central government, are you asking to not to give the people free of cost for the farmers? Are you asking? See, there is, for example, see, you have to consider this. Farmer, before elections, he won't pay his dues to the bank, and the party on expecting this will announce the scheme of farm loan waiver. Waiver means complete removal of dues on the farmers. The loss would be borne by the government that is going to be elected. Clear? So this is a freebie. Then if see, there is other case. There is farmer, he lost his crop because of natural calamities. Because of natural calamities, he lost his crop. So the government might promise that, in my, if you get elect me, what I will do, I will give inputs at free of cost to you. What these inputs are? Inputs are nothing but seeds. Inputs are pesticides. Inputs are fertilizers and all this, and inputs are few credit. So these things will definitely help the farmer to become a productive person. But if you do the farm loan waiver, the amount that the farmer got would be spent in an indiscriminated manner. Clear? So these are the things that one has to consider. So the author here is asking, see, the first one is a freebie, but the second one is a welfare scheme. For the empowerment of farmer, government is coming with few measures. These need not be neglected at any point of time. Clear? So that is why he is saying that one should make a distinction between the expenditures on welfare schemes and the freebies. Clear? So he is asking to take the look on the budget. Clear? So in budget you might get what are the multi-layered issues that are covering. Clear? So here the author is asking two differences. First of all, regarding the subsidy, he wants us to know the difference between subsidy and a transfer payment. What is a subsidy? If you have to pay for a cylinder 600 rupees, government will ask you to pay 400 rupees only. The 200 rupees would be paid by the central government. The 200 is subsidy. Then what is this transfer payment? The transfer is the 200 rupees is directly credited to your account, DBT. You have to pay 600 and government will give 200 rupees. That is called the transfer payments. Here government might credit the amount in your accounts through the form of DBT. Clear? Yes. Then see here, until now we are referring to the word subsidy. First of all, if I ask you what is the definition of subsidy, you might come with some definitions, but legally accepted definition in the world lacks the presence. But when we see few international agreements, let's consider this. This is the agreement. This is the agreement on subsidies and countervailing measures. What is this countervailing measures? Here I am going to explain this. See, there is one agreement. That agreement is on subsidies and countervailing measure. What is the meaning of countervailing? To get benefit, one country might give benefits to one of the products so that the product can compete in other industries. For example, take this example. This is India, this is Indian market, and this is China. China is exporting one product cost 10 rupees. Clear? This product cost is 10 rupees and the same product price in India is somewhere around 15 rupees. So generally people encourage to import this cheap Chinese product as this is available at the price of 10 only. And see, in the same way, in government of India provided 5 rupees subsidy so that the product can compete with the Chinese product. Are you getting? Yes. Then what you know? China might give extra benefits to this product and it may come the product to somewhere around 7 rupees. So here intentionally China is giving minus 3 rupees benefit to destroy the market of India. If India finds this, it starts adding some extra duty. See, the product will come to 7 rupees for India and India will add the 3 rupees as countervailing duty and ultimately the price may come to the 10 rupees as early. So the 10 rupees product of India and the same 10 rupees product of China might compete right now. Are you getting? So this is the countervailing duty. So on the both these things, one agreement happened internationally. This agreement is done in the name of World Trade Organization. In the World Trade Organization, this agreement is called as ASCM, Agreement on Subsidies and Countervailing Measures. Clear? So see, according to this, a subsidy shall be deemed to exist if there is a financial contribution for a government. It is asking one thing should be called as a subsidy if there is a financial contribution. If there is a financial contribution by government or any public body where government practices involving of a direct transfer of funds like DBT, direct benefit transfers in the form of grants, loans, or the government revenue that is otherwise due is foregone. So you have to know there is something that is called revenue foregone. What is the meaning of revenue foregone? Revenue foregone means the revenue that was lost by the government by giving few exceptional measures. For example, see, I am earning an amount of 10,000. What government will say? Government will ask something. If you are earning 10,000, I will charge you the tax of, let's take 100 rupees. But if you are investing the 10,000 into government bonds, if you are going to invest this in government bonds, then I won't charge you 100 rupees as tax, but I will charge you 80 rupees from you as tax on the thing that you have invested whole your income into government bonds. Are you getting? So because of this minus 20 is the revenue foregone by the government to the change the behavior of the investor. Clear? So this is the revenue foregone. Or for example, government might tax you 10% on your income, but it says if you keep on increasing your investments or keep on improving the production, then I will charge you 8% of interest only. That minus 2% is also revenue foregone. Clear? Are you getting what comes under subsidy and what comes under revenue? So this has to be clearly analyzed. Why? Because in 2006-7, clear? Are you getting? In 2006 means in earlier UPA government, every time government used to submit this. What is this? revenue foregone under central tax system. Are you getting? Government used to have this practice. Along with the budget, government used to provide this statement to the parliament. But from 2016, the present day government have changed this from the revenue foregone to statement of revenue impact of tax incentive. Clear? Tax incentive under central tax system. Are you getting? Simply the present government changed the words of revenue foregone to the tax incentive. Both governments are doing the same activities, that is, they are losing the revenue, but the earlier government used to project in a neat detailed way as revenue foregone, but the present government trying to manipulate the people in the form as it is not revenue foregone, it is the tax incentive that I am providing. It is showing to the people that I am not losing any money. I am giving tax incentive to cater the few people, and I am encouraging these people to produce additional products. Are you getting? So that is why we have to clearly get through what government is thinking. In the same way, right now what central government is giving to the people, those they are calling it as welfare schemes. But the same if given by the states, central government is naming, the state governments are providing freebies. Are you getting? In the same way, it is clearly using the words for its advantage. Clear? So in this way, the author is criticizing actually. Clear? And it is also saying that few of the things that government is coming, those are called tax preferences. Some extra benefits are given to the people who are doing very great. For example, here also in article the author is explaining that the amount that you are spending on farmers, take it as X, means you are giving the input benefit, the revenue losses of the farmers and the farm loan waivers, all these amounts could be of X. Let's take though. And you have given corporate tax benefits by reduction of corporate taxes to the corporates if that amount is Y. The article clearly saying that always and every time Y is greater than X. Are you getting? So see, in the name of farmers, you might be spending some amount that is somewhere around 100 only, but because of corporate taxes, see, every time you might be getting corporate tax of 1000 rupees, but this time you have given the benefit of 300 and you are achieving only 700. So the revenue foregone here is 300 rupees. So that red color amount is corporate tax deduction, that is equals to Y. This black color amount is the 100 rupees that I am putting expenditure on farmers. You have to tell which amount is the high. So every time the corporate tax benefits that are given to the corporates are not considered as freebies by the government. Are you getting? The intention is that government no need to bother about the welfare schemes that are given to the farmers and very important sections, because the amounts that they are spending on corporate tax benefits is far more than the amounts that are spending on the poor farmers of India. Clear? Are you getting? So this is the government argument, and it is also clearly coming with few statements of CAG. CAG means Controller Auditor General. This person holds the highest importance regarding auditing matters in India. And this is a constitutional body. CAG was mentioned under Article 148 of Indian Constitution. Clear? So this CAG report says 2006-7 in 2006-7 the revenue foregone by the government is of normally 21%, and this has come by the end of 2015 to 15%. Means if there is reduction in the revenue foregone, it shows that actually you are gaining more, right? So if there is reduction in the revenue foregone, if your losing amount is reducing, then what it shows? It shows you are gaining more, right? Yes, that is what the government at the time 2014 is doing. But the same has increased to 22% by the time of 2020, because you are losing most of the amounts in the form of corporate tax benefits. Clear? So this is the argument. Then it is clearly saying all these things are multi-layered. Then what is the meaning of multi-layered? Are you getting here? You are going only with the amounts that are spending in the name of freebies. But then what is a freebie? What is a tax incentive? What is the tax preference? And how do you distinguish between them? So if that is getting benefit to you, are you going to give it as a tax incentive? Or if the other state governments are doing, are you going to name it as a freebie? And see, the corporate tax that the big people are not paying is asked to be paid by the ordinary people. Are you getting? So these are the things that the author is asking directly. Clear? So that is why, and he even says, right now our agriculture is in poor condition, our public health is in poor condition, our education is in poor condition. Let's spend the amount on that. Clear? So he is saying that public health, on public health we are spending somewhere around 1.5% of GDP. Clear? And in the same way, there is one commission on education. On education, there is one commission that is called Kothari Commission. That Kothari Commission asked to increase the spending to 6% of GDP, and as right now we are somewhere around less than 2% of GDP. We are not doing these things, but we are going on the unnecessary aspects of freebies. Why states are giving free freebies, and these freebies needs to be controlled. First of all, try to increase the corporate tax that the government is foregoing, and it has to be spent on the social welfare measures. These are the views of the government. Clear? Then coming to this article, see, malware found in 5 phones is no proof it's Pegasus, panel is saying. See, this article is very important from GS to polity perspective. Clear? And there is something that is called in GS3 as cyber security. Clear? Cyber security under the topic of internal security. Clear? So malware was found in 5 phones and there is no proof that it is Pegasus. Who is telling that? The panel appointed by the Supreme Court of India. First of all, you should know what is a malware. A malware is a harm that actually induced or put into mobile phones to get the secret information. This malware can be of anything. For example, a malware can be a spyware. What is the spyware will do? He will collect all the information of opposition and he is going to give the same to his owner, right? So in the same way, the present Pegasus is also a spyware. Coming to Pegasus, it was developed in Israel. In Israel, there is one company that is called NSO Group. This company is running the Pegasus spyware. it clearly said they are going to give to the governments only. Clear? The company is of strict form that it is not going to use for the harm of the people. The Pegasus software of spyware would be given only to the government companies. So it is alleged few months back there is one article that has come in UK news report which alleges that government of India purchased the Pegasus from Israel company NSO and it is using the same on the opposition of India, and it clearly said that there are n number of mobile phones that were clearly trapped under the central government surveillance. Clear? It is saying it is under, as of now, the central government surveillance. So what is the meaning of surveillance? If you are totally under the control of the central government, means each and every movement of you are observed by the central government, then it is called the central surveillance. Clear? Generally every government does normal surveillance on people because there might be the possibilities of terrorist attacks. To control the terrorist attacks on the government, it would say these terrorists are very dangerous, so we have to constantly check on the people's behavior to not to have the influence of terrorists on the normal people. So this normal surveillance is definitely the work of every government on the basis of national interest. Clear? On the basis of national interest, this is the job done by every government across the world. But here Indian government is constantly selecting few persons. Those few persons are opposition parties candidate, few Supreme Court members, few High Court members, and few journalists who are going critical to the government of India. If you are constantly checking the activities of these people, then it would be problematic. So they have many petitions were filed in the Supreme Court to check the issue whether it is true or false. So Supreme Court constituted one technical committee and asked that committee to submit its report. Clear? So that committee, as of now, it is saying that we have gone through 29 phones and we have gone to the forensic science analysis. Sir, what is forensic science analysis? It is laboratory check of the mobile phones. So mobile phones are clearly scanned and they would be thoroughly checked so that there are any chances or anything that which might show the presence of the malware, the spyware. Clear? Are you getting? So it is saying we have gone to 29 phones, but only in 5 phones. Only in 5 phones we have checked few malware, but those are not the Pegasus. Clear? Those are not the Pegasus. And the report is also telling that government is not cooperative with this committee. Clear? So the Chief Justice of India clearly getting the angry, and it is saying, it is sorry to say, but there is a line in the committee report which says that government of India was not cooperative. We are not going to accept that. As you are in responsible position of holding the government, you should give the full ultimate hand to this committee so that it can do its job. Clear? So these are the statements of central government, but we have to see whether the government of India willingly going to have the cooperation with the panel. Clear? We have to check all these things. Fine. So this is all about the article, and the committee did not submit full report as of now. We have to wait few more days for the whole analysis. Clear? Yes. Now check this article. It is IOC, to spend 2 lakh crores for net zero emissions. Clear? IOC means Indian Oil Corporation. This is one of the leading oil refineries of India. Clear? Have you seen? This is the refinery equipment of in general oil distilling process. Clear? The article is very important from GS3 environment. Clear? Environment. Then see, here the article mentions the company is going to spend 2 lakh crore for net zero emissions. First of all, you have to know what is the meaning of net zero emissions. Does it means that they are not going to produce any of the emissions? Then first of all, you have to know the emissions also. What are the emissions? The emissions are undissolved part or suspended particles in any company that releases into the atmosphere and causing the global warming are called the emission. It could be of carbon monoxide, it could be of carbon dioxide, it could be of nitrogen oxide, it could be of sulfur dioxide, whatever might be the substance. If it is emitting into the atmosphere, that might cause a serious climatic changes effects are called the net zero the emissions. Then what is the net zero? Does this means you are not going to produce carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide? No. Here the company generally goes on emitting, but in the same way it tries to sequester. Clear? Remember this word? It tries to sequester the present CO2 in the atmosphere. Sir, how can it sequester? Clear? Let's take. If they go on planting the plants, this plant might absorb some CO2 from the atmosphere into it. Are you getting? So see, this is the very important here. See, right now they are coming as we are going to spend that rupees 2 lakh crore. The 2 lakh crore would be used for different purposes. Clear? So see, right now they are saying the net zero emission means the company might produce 100 kgs. Let's take one company produces 100 kgs of CO2. You have to remember this carbon dioxide is generally measured in kgs only. Clear? So the same company is asking the company officials to plant the plants. So 100 plants into 12 months. That is somewhere around 1200 plants, right? These 1200 plants are able to absorb the 100 kgs of CO2. Then the company would become the net zero. Why? Because you are producing 100 kgs plus 100 kgs from your company, but your plants that you planted actually absorbing 100 kgs plus, then you would remain as zero. This is called the net zero. The net zero is the new form of phase that the governments and the companies are going. Why? Because it is sure that for development we cannot reduce our emissions. Then what could be the alternative one? The alternative one is it has to reduce the emissions by sequestering the carbon dioxide that is present in the air. Are you getting? So this is very important. And the article is also saying that right now the company is producing 22 million tons of CO2. By 2030 it might reach to the 40 million tons, but the company is planning to invest this 2 lakh crores to produce 700 million tons of CO2 should be sequestered from the Indian atmosphere. Are you getting? It is producing only 40 only, but it is going to absorb 700 million metric tons by the time of 2046. Clear? by the time of 2046. Why it is planning for the long term? Why? Because in conference of parties of UNFCCC meeting in 2021, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji promised the world nations that India is going to absorb, India is going to become the net neutral country, net zero emission country by 2070. Whole India would become net zero by 2070. This is the promise that India has given at world stage. Are you getting? So to meet this challenge, the company is telling that we are going to invest our capacities and money to achieve this target. Clear? So these are the statements from the IOC. Clear? I think I have made the article very clear. Labor codes empower workers. So this is the statement from Prime Minister. See, the article is very important from GS 3 economy. Why? Because employment and the labor issues generally to be come in economy part where industries play greater role. Why? Because the labor laws, rules and regulations ought to be known to a civil servant, because in future he might be the person who will deal with these persons directly. Clear? So these are very important. The labor codes empower the workers. Clear? So it is saying that we have bought few codes which would empower the workers. Where he is speaking, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended for 2 day the National Labour Conference at Tirupati. Clear? So he just wants to remove the concept of slavery. Labor should not be called or should not be seen as a slave working under his master. Clear? So that is his views, and he said, by simplifying the rules, we have changed the entire, we have reformed the entire, we have simplified the labor laws. Clear? Very important, 29 labor laws have been reduced to mere 4 labor laws. Everything would be covered on this simple labor code. So Prime Minister ji is saying, if you get simplified labor codes, then it is very easy for the empowerment of workers, and it is very easy for workers to achieve minimum wages, to get the job security, the social security and the health security. Clear? So these are very important, and Prime Minister said there is the need to change in the world. Clear? As fourth industrial revolution happening in India and the world, it is very important for us Indians to take the decisions very quickly and implement them rapidly. So in fourth industrial revolution also, labor plays important role, but here not the unskilled labor, only the formally trained, the skilled laborers can show their productivity in fourth industrial revolution. Getting? So he is saying that, so right now the right policies and efforts in this area are very important, and India is a global leader in making so. Why? Because these 4 labor laws, with these 4 labor laws, we have made a great changes in the impact of life of those laborers. First one is the code on wages. Clear? And second one, industrial relations code. Clear? And next, social security code. And next, occupational safety and working of health conditions of the labor. Clear? So occupational safety code, these are the 4 important codes that were drawn to empower the laborers. See, this first code on wages, actually deals with the wages part of the labor. As right now, the labor are getting very low amount of salary. It is on the obligation of government to improve that wages. And next, industrial relations code generally deals with the relations that are happening at the level of industries. Means industries might go for, this labor might go for strikes, protests, or any any related issues, disputes should be solved through tribunals. They might be expecting the establishment of tribunals, what not, everything. So all these relations with the industry by the labor are generally discussed here. Industrial relations code, clear? And next, social security code. The social security code generally deals with the pensions, the contributory schemes, the equity funds, the investments for future use, everything. That is, you generally know, when you are a government employee, some of your part of salary would be gone for the social security contribution and regarding the health security. All these things are under social security code. And next, occupational safety code. What is this occupational safety code? The occupational safety code is something which asks the government to go for providing security to the labor, clear? So occupational safety, the laborer has to get sufficient protection at the place of manufacturing, clear? So this is the occupational safety code, clear? Narendra Modi ji is emphasizing on it, and he also asking to change or to keep the flexibility of women timings, the timings of the office, so that n number of women can come into the participation. Why? Because you know the role of female, she has to get ready, she has to keep her husband ready, she has to arrange the boxes for the husband, she has to keep arrange of the child, and she has to drop her child in the schools. So it might take lot of time to prepare for the work than a male sitting idly at house. Are you getting? So this is the reason that he is asking for the flexibility of time limit. You may ask a male to attend by 9 a.m. but to complete all these things, female can attend the office by 10 a.m. If you are able to give this flexibility, then their participation in the economy might reach the drastical, clear? Yes. So these are very important article, clear? These are very important articles. This is an important article which shares regarding the river water sharing India Bangladesh. The article is very important from GS to international relations perspective, clear? GS to international relations. See, for every country there might be the chances of rivers flowing from one country to the other. Let's take India and Bangladesh. India holds the border, right? India holds border. This is the rough draft. Think this is India and think this is Bangladesh. There would be the Ganga which flows in the same manner, right? So rivers does not know the borders. Rivers does not know the borders. So it flows from India to any other nation. So as Bangladesh is the neighbor country for India, so many rivers are flowing from India to Bangladesh. Why? Because rivers hold greater importance. Why? Rivers water are useful for irrigation purpose, right? And river waters are useful for industrial purpose also, right? For industries. And river water are also useful for drinking water. For drinking water, river water is more important. So everyone requires their perfect share of water, but the countries tries to gain more advantage of this water, clear? So this is the reason generally countries who are having cross country rivers, they would form few commissions and they would try to solve their issues. In the same way, India Bangladesh have JRC. JRC means Joint River Commission. This Joint River Commission helps in reducing the problems of India and Bangladesh in the rivers. Are you getting? So the JRC meeting is going to happen, and they want the clear rooting out the issues in these rivers. These rivers are the major rivers that are flowing from Bangladesh to India to Bangladesh. They are the Ganga, the Tista, the Manu, the Mahuri, the Kovai, the Gumti, Dharla, Dudhkumar and Kushiara. Clear? So Dudhkumar and Kushiara, these are the important rivers that are flowing from India to Bangladesh. Why I am coming with this data? Why? Because when you observe recent UPSC pattern of asking questions, they are generally concentrating on rivers names and everything. Clear? So this is very important from geographical perspective also, and this is very important from polity international perspectives also. So this article is very important, and the names of the rivers which are flowing from India to Bangladesh are very important. Clear? So this is the article about India Bangladesh discuss river water sharing issues. Clear? So this is important article. Say today's current affairs MCQ, consider the following statements about Pegasus spyware. You have seen about Pegasus, right? See, Pegasus is the only spyware that works on zero-click attack, and in tomorrow's article I am going to explain, if you don't know the meaning of zero-click. Clear? If you know this meaning, you can answer this down. Clear? Second statement, Pegasus was developed by Israel and India. Clear? So options are only one, only two, both and none. Clear? So here he is saying, asking about Pegasus. The articles related to malware, firmware and spyware should be easily reduced or detected. Otherwise, the problems of these malwares might affect the digital devices that we are using in today's place. Clear? So that is the reason this MCQ is also important, and I encourage everyone to keep the heading as current affairs MCQ, and you can answer it down in the comment box. Clear? Yes. Thank you.